Hey everyone, welcome back to 100 Days of Coding React and Redux. Today's video, I'm going to talk about how to delete a note in our note taking application. So, I'll start with the idea here first, right? So, we have our notes state which is present inside the app, right? We know that. So, if you want to add a note, you have to go to app, and inside that app, we have notes array, and you should be able to add the note here. Where if you want to update the note, right, or edit the note, you need to we have that function inside the app only, right? Even if we are updating the note from the note view, right, this is a component, right, which has a responsibility of updating the note, this note view basically, right? Even in that case also, it has to be updated inside the app component only. Similarly, in case of delete also, if you want to delete a node, right? So say suppose you want to delete a node, so that delete functionality will be available only inside the app because nodes array is available, my state is available inside the app only. So now in this case, I need to pass this delete node function. So we need a function, right, to delete a node to first note list, because note list has something called a note, right? And from note, we need to pass it to the note view where we have the delete functionality, so that my note view can call that function, which will call this function, and then finally it's going to call the function delete node, which is present in the app, and app is going to delete the node. So I'm going to start from the top bottom approach here. So first of all, we are going to write a code for deleting the node, and that is inside our app.js, right? So here I'm going to do little bits of changes. This is add new node function. I'm going to change it to add node. Okay, this I'm going to change to update node. So or maybe I'll say create node, right? How about that? Create, update, and delete, something like that. So this is create. So I'll pass create here. This is update. So I'm just going to copy. So we are going with the standard approach of CRUD, right? Save. Now I'm going to write a new function here. This is the function which is going to delete a node, right? So const delete node, which is going to take the ID, but we just need the ID of a node and we should be able to delete the node, right? So here we are going to modify our state. So we are going to grab the nodes, right? So I'll loop through the nodes array, nodes.map. I have the nodes here, which is my state. And we are not going to use map here. We're going to use filter here. So I just need to filter the node. I would just want to ignore or just want to delete the node which has this ID, right? So I'm going to get the node here, and I'm going to compare node.id is not equals to ID. So I'm going to return only those nodes. So this nodes.filter function, this is the function of an array, right, is going to return only those nodes which doesn't match this condition, right? If the node.id is not equals to ID, then only return me the node. So we're going to get the new nodes array. And again, I'm going to call this state, right? I'm going to grab my new state and I'll call my set nodes function and new array dot state, something like this. Okay. So now I'll pass this function like I have shown you here. If I go back, so I'm going to pass this delete node function here to the node list, then to the node, and then to the node view. I know this is not the right way of doing things in React, but we are going to modify this code or make it better in the upcoming video. So don't worry about it when I'm going to talk about the context API in React. And when we will talk about Redux, it is going to become much better. Okay, so let's pass this function now. So which component we need to pass? We need to pass it to node list. So let's do some formatting here. So delete node on edit node. Do I have on edit node function here? I don't think so. I have the update node function now, which, okay, this is the property name. That's okay. So I'm going to say on delete node and I'll pass this function here. delete note. Okay, so this is the name of the prop actually, which I'm going to use. So inside note list, this is, I need to copy and paste. And here also we need to do the same thing. Just need to copy and paste. So I'm just passing this function, the functionality for deleting the note. So this will go into the note, and note has the component called edit note view, called the note view, which has the functionality of deleting the note, right? So note view, I have inside my note view, I have my delete button, right? And this is where I need to write that function. So on note list, I'm going to inside the note, and inside note we have the delete note, and here I'm going to pass that on delete note is equals to delete note, right? So if I go into the delete, into the note view, I'll have that function here, and this is the function I'm going to call inside this delete button. So on click, I'll just write this. Let's call the function, and obviously this function needs the ID parameter, which I'm not passing to my note view. So I'll go back to my, so inside my note view I need to have the ID also. So how can I pass the ID to my note view? So inside my app I have the note list, and here I have the note, and inside note I have the note view, right? I'm not passing the ID, so let's pass the ID also, which we are getting. So we'll get the ID also here. Okay, so ID is coming, and this ID I'm going to grab and I'm going to pass back. So let's see what we're getting. So I'm going to save all, and I'll go back to my application, refresh, I'll add new note, test1 text. Let's submit. Now I'll just open the debugger tool also, just to see if it is working fine when we are not getting an error. So I'll keep the console open. I'm going to click on delete. See that the note is getting deleted. Let's do a little bit of more addition. I'll add one note, then the another one, maybe test2, submit. Let's add the third note. Okay, submit. So I'm able to add 3 notes. Let's try to edit also. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, something like that. I'm able to update, and other notes are not getting updated. Let's try to delete this one. Okay, we are getting into test1 and test3. Let's try to delete this one. So it seems the functionality of delete is working perfectly fine, right? I told you this was the problem, right? We have to pass this delete note function from the app component till the note view component. But that's okay. Our application is getting built in the right direction, I would say, and we are going good. So with that, I think one functionality at a time. So we have came a long way, right? So we have the functionality for adding a note, updating note, and deleting a note also. But the problem is still we are not saving all of these notes. So if I refresh my application, I have to start from scratch, which is not good. We need some way when I'm going to add a new note, it should be saved somewhere in the database. So we are going to create a local database inside our application, and we will do the add, update, delete, all those functionality inside our local database in the upcoming videos. So until then, you take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching the video.